electric guitar in its case on the seat next to him. He was plugged into his iPod with his eyes closed, shutting the world out, displaying his disapproval at what was happening with a silent, if not peaceful, protest. Her middle child, 8-year-old Gemma, was staring happily out of the window, her legs drumming in anticipation of a new adventure, a new world to conquer, and hundreds of new friends to make. Possibly the only one in the whole family who was truly looking towards the future. Only Amy, who had the flats of her palms pressed against the car window, kept looking back. Only Amy was still saying her goodbyes even as they turned the corner and their old street was out of sight for good. Only Amy, who brushed away a tear, then put her thumb in her mouth and clung to her toy for dear life, seemed aware of exactly what they had left behind. Only Amy and Alison, that is. "Come on, Alison, it's perfect, admit it." Marc had pressed her only 6 weeks earlier when he'd come home and told her he thought they should put the house on the market because he'd found them the perfect place to move to. Alison had half looked at the details of the new house he had thrust under her nose the minute after he'd walked in through the door. That was Marc. He was an all-or-nothing kind of man. Things had to be done right away or not at all. And this, it seemed, was one of them. He had made a mistake, and now he was taking decisive action to fix it. Decisive and drastic. The house in the photo was certainly much bigger than their current house, set in some grounds at the end of what looked like a long driveway. "There's no way we can afford a house like this near enough for you to be able to commute, and if you think that I'm going to be stuck out in the country while you're in town all week, then—" "That's not it at all, Al," he said. "I've been thinking and, well, the dealership in Notting Hill runs itself, more or less. It's established. There's no challenge for me there anymore, and I think we all need a change, a proper fresh start for all of us." Alison looked at him and waited for the hard sell. Marc picked up her hand as he sat down next to her. "You need a change of scenery after everything that went on at Christmas. Not to mention what's been going on with Dom. That's twice now he's been brought home by a policeman, Alison. He's been warned for riding in a stolen car. What will happen next? Will we find a knife in his school bag, or have the next policeman turn up on our doorstep to tell us our son's been shot for looking at some kid the wrong way? You don't want that life for him, do you, Al? This is the perfect solution. And look at where the house is." Alison had stopped looking at her husband the moment he mentioned Christmas. Only Marc could refer to something so painful and humiliating in passing, as if what had happened was merely an inconvenience that a good holiday could sort out. But when she looked at the address of the house, all thoughts of Christmas disappeared. "This house is in Farmington," she said slowly, feeling suddenly chilled to the core. "We're not moving to Farmington." "Why not Farmington?" Marc asked her. "We'll be much closer to your parents once they get back from their grand tour. They only live a few miles away from Farmington, and you know how much you'd like to be nearer your mum, especially now that you two get on so much better. You're the only one of us with any family, and I happen to think we should make the most of that, for your sake and the kids. You spent too long separated from your family. This is a chance, maybe a last chance for you to make up for those years." Marc paused, holding Alison's gaze. He sounded so persuasive, so rational, as if he wasn't asking her to go back to the place where her life had changed course forever, as if she was the mad one for not wanting to go back. "Besides, you grew up there," Marc carried on. "It's the perfect place to bring the kids up. It's surrounded by countryside, it's got good schools and low crime rates. And look at what we'd get for our money over there compared to this place. So, why not Farmington?" "You know why not Farmington," Alison said, redirecting her gaze at him. "Marc, you're incredible. You really are." Marc stared at her wide-eyed for a moment or two, as she waited for him to catch up. "What? You mean because of—" "Oh, Al, don't be silly. That's all in the past now, long gone and forgotten. Nobody cares about that anymore."